Every 4 years, football fans look forward to watch their favorite country's teams vying for the coveted World Cup. But did you know that even in domestic competitions and the various leagues, mathematics can be used to determine the chances of a match ending in a win, lose, or draw for the side that you're supporting? I'm not a psychic, but the chances of you finding this video in your feed today tells me there's a high probability you're going to increase your odds of success in exams. This is Mastering CSEC Mathematics Bite Size. Meteorologists, sports analysts, and even some of your favorite games are based on the mathematical concept called probability. Many of us grew up playing various board games, from Ludo to Monopoly, which involved the tossing of dice to determine the choices in the game and dictate the pace of our advancements. Probability is the chance of a desired outcome occurring out of all possible events. In probability, we use the word event to refer to any possible occurrence. For example, some possible occurrences where tossing a die is concerned would be getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. The collection of all these possible outcomes is called the sample space. For rolling a die, the sample space consists of 6 possible events. Nick and his friends are playing a game of Ludo, and he must roll a 6 in order to set his piece on the starting point. What is the probability that he will roll a 6? To compute a probability, we must consider the ratio of all successful outcomes out of all possible events. The probability, denoted as P, is calculated by dividing the number of times he can get a 6 from tossing the die by the total number of events in the sample space. Now, he can only toss the die once per turn. On his turn, there are 6 possible results. Numbers 1 through 6. How many times can we get a 6 from one toss? There's only one face with 6 on it, so that means he can only get a 6 once. His probability is 1 out of 6. He has a 1/6 chance to get to place his token at the starting point. While a die is fair, as all events have an equal likelihood of occurring, meaning there is only one chance each event can occur within the sample space, other factors which influence his odds of a lucky start are completely outside of the sample space. Hope for the best when rolling the dice on your turn. I mentioned that the events in tossing a die all have an equal likelihood. In such a case, we say that it is fair. Fair experiments are those which permit all possible events to occur the same number of times. Think about tossing a coin. There are unfair or biased systems which stack the odds against you winning. I'm sure you can identify one such case. If you've ever played games such as Genshin Impact or any other game where obtaining a character is based on taking a chance, you've interacted with a probability-based system which is biased. How? The system is set for players to obtain a specific character by taking a risk where, for example, you may have a 0.05 chance of getting the character you want. Well, how exactly is that biased? You may ask. Total probability is 1. This means if an event has a probability of 1, it's guaranteed to happen, while a probability of 0 means it has no chance of happening. A probability of 0.05 is closer to the lower end of the probability range, hence the odds of it occurring are pretty slim. That's why FTP players plan out which characters are worth taking such high risks for. While these games have simple probability applications, weather forecasting utilizes a more complex statistical model involving probability to predict the chances of you needing an umbrella when you leave the house tomorrow morning, or if it will be a perfect day for some seaside fun, or trekking to those hidden gems to reconnect with nature. Let's take a look at another example of an application of probability. In a class of 25 students, we collected their math test scores, and we are choosing a student at random from the class. What is the probability that the student selected scored at least 75% on the math test? Given that we know the test scores of all the students, we simply count the number of students with scores of 75% and over. Based on the data we collected, there are 10 students with a score of 75% and over. To find the probability, we divide 10 by 25. Do you recall how to break down a fraction? Since both of these numbers are divisible by 5, we can reduce these two numbers by dividing by 5, and it gives us a simpler fraction of 2/5. Always reduce your probabilities as much as possible. Something important to note about probability is this. Values of probability range between 0 and 1. Hence, we get fractions with decimals. We can also state probabilities as percentages. So, a probability of 2/5. Can you remember how to convert this to a percentage? That's right, multiply it by 100%. So we multiply 2/5 by 100, cancelling down any common factors where we can. And when we reduce this, we will get 40%. Whether you're rolling the dice, hopeful things will go in your favor, while wishing on a banner in Genshin Impact or reading the weather forecast saying 65% of scattered thunderstorms in your area, don't underestimate the significance of mathematics in those events. If you'd like to increase the probability of finding our videos in your feed, be sure to leave a like on this video. If you follow us, there's a 100% chance of future content benefiting you. Share this video with your friends to increase the likelihood of someone else benefiting from our bite-sized lessons.